Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Yes, good morning and welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. I hope you're all doing well. It's a horribly rainy, grey, miserable day in Liverpool, but hopefully I can deliver you some content that's going to brighten that up for you. How about that? Thank you for joining us in this video. We're going to be speaking about the two games that happened last night: Liverpool 2, Bologna 0, and Liverpool 1. Bologna 0, and also on the absolute madness that is Lionel Messi leaving Barcelona. Remember, before we get into this video, please just give it a like. Doesn't take any time out of your day, but it definitely helps me. And make sure you're hitting the bell when you subscribe to the Kop TV so you're never without a video that we upload. Like I said, next week we're shooting the first episode of James Redmond and I's new podcast, Hot Copics, that will be on this channel. And we also have a very new person that we're going to be bringing onto the channel. That's Ruby, and you'll see a lot more of her next week as well. I've got my healthy juice, celery, cucumber, a lot of ginger in that one. I'll have that later on. But all right, let's talk about Liverpool against Bologna yesterday. I did speak very briefly about this on Sky Sports News this morning. I was on the early kickoff at 7:30 this morning. So if you did catch that, let me know. And you would have heard what I said there about not only Liverpool, but Messi as well. But let's talk about the games yesterday. And then Niall, I promise you, we will speak about Messi after. Stephen Owens, good morning to you. He says, good morning, Reds. Absolutely. I'm going to share the screen with you guys now, so we can see the facts and figures from last night. I mean, it was very difficult to keep up, actually, with all the ins and outs, the starters and non-starters, the subs that came on during these two games. And as you can see here, an absolutely woeful kit selection, not through Liverpool's own fault. I think what has actually happened here, Liverpool did release a statement about this yesterday, but what has happened here is obviously, as you know, this shirt that I'm wearing was supposed to be the shirt that matched those shorts and those socks. But as you can see in the background, obviously Bologna have a white shirt, which obviously clashes with the fossil that Liverpool are wearing this season on their away shirt. And as you can see, the socks clash there as well. And that just can't happen in football. You can't have a kit that clashes the socks or the shorts. If it does, then a team has to change. And you'll actually remember, those of you a bit older, we played Portsmouth in the Premier League, maybe 2006, I think it was, 05, 06. In that game, we had to wear white socks. I think Robbie Fowler and Morientes scored on the day. But difficult to see Liverpool in anything other than either all red or the away kit. So yes, to yesterday we did look a little bit like Manchester United, which I wasn't happy about, obviously. But there is a reason for these things, and it was just an unexpected clash that they didn't foresee. So nothing deeper to read into it, but definitely looks like Mohamed Salah has scored a goal there for Manchester United and not Liverpool, which was horrible, really. But anyway, let's look at the results. Like I said, a 2-0 win in the first game, a 1-0 in the second game. Both of these games were respectively an hour long each, 2 hours in the sun in Evian. I mean, it was an absolutely beautiful surrounding that Liverpool played in yesterday. As you can see from behind here, you see the mountains, the blue sky, and the sea. Beautiful stuff. What a place to play football in. But in the first game, as you know, Liverpool won 2-0. Let's get into that one. So Kelleher started in goal. You had Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson. Is that a back four, taking away Kelleher? Because obviously Alisson will start the first game, and maybe Kelleher in as number two. But would you guys be happy with Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, and Robertson as your back four for the start of the season? Me personally, I would be. There's obviously a contentious spot next to Van Dijk. Is it Matip? Is it Gomez? Is it Konate? Last night they started with Matip and Van Dijk, kept a clean sheet, which was great to see. James Milner, what a game he had last night, by the way. There was a few memes going around Twitter during the game saying that he was our Steven Gerrard last night. James Milner was. So amazing from him. And it's also incredibly promising to see Harvey Elliott not only start the game again, also in midfield. I think that might be the third or fourth game he's played, not only in this preseason, but also in midfield for Liverpool. Very, very calm and collected he was yesterday, which is actually, like I said, encouraging, because normally he's an out and out winger, but definitely showing another part to his game, maybe something that we'll see down the line in the future at some point, which will be Harvey Elliott playing in the middle next to James Milner and Keita. And then up front last night, Jota, Mane, and Salah. And on the bench, he had Loris Karius, Pitulega, Reece Williams, Ben Woodburn, and also Beck on the bench. So obviously the game kicked off, and Jota gave us the lead. I mean, that if you take away the red, look at those shorts and socks. It is a beautiful kit, I do have to say, this season. Very, very happy with that, to be honest with you, but just not this combo. So Mane scored a second goal, 2 goals that really were quite routine. A third almost arrived, says LiverpoolFC.com here, on 25 minutes on the clock when Jota brought the ball under control at a corner. However, this time his near post drive was saved. Let me know, guys, if you watched this game, and if you watched the second game as well. Like to see what you thought of the actual 2 hours of football that we did see yesterday. Look at that picture. Virgil van Dijk, another 45 minutes done. It was actually 30 minutes. It wasn't 40. Oh, no, I think he did play 44 minutes. I'm getting confused. He played 44 minutes out of a 60-minute game. I was thinking there that he got confused at halftime. Was only 30 minutes. But he is saying, I will see you all at Anfield. I can't wait. And do you know what, Verge? I'm going to be seeing you on Sunday as well, my son, because and amongst a few other guys from the Kop TV, will be at Anfield on Sunday for the big one against Bilbao, a game that promises to have the most fans in Anfield since that March the 13th, 2020 date, when, of course, we lost at home to Atletico de Madrid. Game 2, Alisson was in goal. Nico Williams played as we won 1-0. Konate, Gomez, and Simicast. Is that a back four that we might see in the cup games this season? Nico and Simicast definitely are backup right and left back. But this season, how exactly will Konate feel about if he's not playing every game next to Van Dijk? But then Gomez as well, who, let's not forget, guys, was absolutely incredible. Before he got injured, and a good 2 years before that as well. And as we all know, Joe Gomez has missed more games through injury for Liverpool than he's played for Liverpool, which is a horrible stat, really. I think Sturridge was very similar when he was at Liverpool, and how much we would have liked to have seen him play more. But going back to my point, will Joe Gomez be happy to just play second fiddle this season? Obviously, we want as many centre-backs as possible, but you've got to keep them all happy. And will Joe Gomez be happy playing from the bench? Fabinho, Curtis Jones, and Oxlade-Chamberlain was the midfield yesterday, and Shaqiri, Minamino, and Firmino up top on the bench. Adrian Origi came on to miss a penalty. With 20 minutes to go, he hit the post, unfortunately for him. Nat Phillips, Gordon, Woodburn, Beck, and Clarkson were on the bench. That one, a couple of crossover names from the first game. I mean, that midfield, Fabinho, Curtis Jones, and Oxlade-Chamberlain, full of big names there. And that is a midfield that we could quite easily see, not only in the cup games, but also, I think, in the Premier League this season. Even though we still desperately, I think, will be in the market for a central midfielder come August 31st, which is just over 3 weeks away. So there's a little bit of time to go. But obviously, we need another midfielder. However, Fabinho, Jones, Oxlade, Keita, Milner came in last night. You know, it's very encouraging to see all of our central midfielders being used and in good positions as well. And I'm really liking the goal as well. Taki Minamino scored his second goal in 2 games. He actually, traditionally, last year and this year, he's actually performed very well in pre-season. Obviously, he joined mid-season in January 2019. But then 2020 pre-season, I think he scored 4 goals and carried that on when we played Arsenal in the Community Shield last season, and then never really kicked on after that. But it was a lovely finish. And if you guys saw the goal, you would have seen Big Shaq collect the ball maybe 30 yards out and play a lovely lofted back spinning ball into Minamino's path, who stayed onside and drilled his half volley into the bottom left corner, making it 1-0 to Liverpool, which again didn't really matter. The result didn't matter here. It was 2 hours of training, of fitness in the heat that mattered. And of course, it's always nice when you get 2 clean sheets, especially when you've got centre backs returning after a long time. So happy. I'm very happy with how it turned out yesterday. That was our last games away from Anfield now before the Premier League. This Sunday, of course, we've got Bilbao and then Osasuna on Monday. And then it all begins, guys. Next weekend away at Norwich. Very, very interested to see how that will turn out. And obviously still names to leave Liverpool by then, still names to bring in, hopefully, by then as well. So let me know what you think in the comments. Was last night a good one for us to watch? Was it an easy one? Was it one that really didn't matter too much? Let me know in the comments. How excited should we get about keeping a clean sheet against Bologna? There is a 7:30 in the morning. There is, Stephen, and it exists if you wake up a bit earlier, my son. Kyle Anfield, we should go in for Pedri or Frankie de Jong now, but Barcelona in the dirt. Listen, I think these guys, the problem with Barcelona is, and I was talking about it on Sky Sports News this morning, the summer of dealings in 2018, and that was the year that they brought in, let's not forget, they sold Neymar in 2017, and in 2018, in January, they brought in Felipe Coutinho, as we know, hasn't really worked for him at all at Barcelona, and I'm still under the impression that Barcelona owe us money from that £145 million deal back in 2018. And that same year, they also bought Ousmane Dembele and Griezmann. Now, if you add up the total fee, it was well over what they received for Neymar, which was around 220 million euros. So automatically that season, they put themselves back in the dirt, really, with signings that they couldn't really sustain money-wise. And that summer, effectively, in my opinion, has made Lionel Messi leave Barcelona, as you read and all are aware of now, I'm sure, unless you've been living under a rock for the last hour or two. The agreements between Messi and Barca were agreed, but Barca are now saying that it was the fault of La Liga, who are imposing this salary ban. So now they're saying, if you want Messi to stay in the league, get rid of the ban, which actually just undermines the integrity of not only the league, but the sport in general. No man is bigger than the team. Lionel Messi is not bigger than Barcelona Football Club. I'm far from a Barcelona fan, but in the same way, when Gerrard wanted to leave Liverpool in 2004 and 5 and 09, and then when he finally did in 2015, you'd have to say that even though his heart was committed to Liverpool in the end, at that point as well, Gerrard was not bigger than Liverpool Football Club. No player will ever be bigger than the club. You're playing for this name here, not the name on the back, remember. So I think there's no way, in my opinion, that La Liga can now fiddle with the rules and lower the salary cap. That would be an absolute disgrace if they did do that. So for me personally, Messi now has to leave. There's no way that he can go back to the boardroom, back to the drawing board with Barcelona officials and try and work out a deal. That's gone now. I'm pretty sure it's gone. So, in my opinion, Messi will be going to Paris Saint-Germain. I really can't see Manchester City splashing out, near to £1 million almost every week for Lionel Messi. I just don't see it happening. But at the same time, I don't see someone like a Chelsea going in for him. I don't see someone like an Inter Milan going in for him. They're in big financial trouble as well. So once you rule all those guys out, you're left really with Paris Saint-Germain, who he has been having dinner with their players very recently. You saw that picture with Di Maria, Verratti, and the other one, Di Maria, Verratti was there. Another Argentinian. No, I couldn't remember. Let me know in the comments if you remember who else was in that picture. But all these things lead to Lionel Messi speaking to Paris Saint-Germain. Last night, there was reports that he actually himself got in direct communications with Mauricio Pochettino, who of course is Argentinian, was the manager of Newell's Old Boys, where one day Pochettino and Messi could both end up But as a 34-year-old, and let's forget the age for a minute. This man is an alien. He does things on a football pitch that no man can do. Maybe unless your name is Cristiano Ronaldo. So forget the age, because he could still play at a very good level until he's 45. I'm convinced. He's that good. So forget the age. He's still got a lot of years at the top, and I feel like if he did go to an Inter Miami or an America or a China, then you'd have to say, well, Ronaldo's won this kind of head to head because he stayed at the top for longer. He's older by 3 years. I think he's 36 or 37 now, Ronaldo. So unfortunately, I guess because they've both been so good in the last 10 to 15 years, it is how the world looks at it. It is Messi versus Ronaldo, and I think Messi would maybe tarnish his legacy if he didn't go to one of the top 5 leagues in Europe, compete for the league, and win the Champions League. Now, if you are Pochettino and you do manage to get Messi through the door, alongside Donnarumma, alongside Sergio Ramos, alongside Gini Wijnaldum, alongside Mbappe and Neymar, if you do not win the Premier League, the Ligue 1 and the Champions League, you can forget about a second year. You're getting sacked. There's no way in hell that Pochettino stays if he brings Messi this season and does not win the Premier League or the Ligue 1 or the Champions League next season. It just doesn't happen. So I'd be very, very surprised if Messi doesn't go to PSG. But of course, that would alleviate some financial stress from Barcelona. They still need to get rid of 200 million euros per week off their wage bill to comply with the regulations that La Liga and CVS have imposed on the entire league. Now, let's not forget, it was only 2 weeks ago that Barcelona were going around to other La Liga clubs asking them to help pay for Lionel Messi's wages, which is an absolute disgrace again. No matter how good he is, that's an absolute joke. Going around asking if you guys could pay for Messi. But it could mean that they are looking to sell some players. Now, they haven't sold anyone big for a lot of money in some time. As we all know, they're very good at buying players for a lot of money, but not since 2017 really have they actually sold someone who's brought in a few quid. Now, that was the biggest transfer of all time in Neymar. However, it's very, very daunting times now for Barcelona. And if we did go in with an offer of maybe 50 mil for Frankie de Jong, who knows? They could just accept that. They need money desperately. Pedri, I don't think anyone's going to lure Pedri away from Barcelona. He's one of those guys like Iniesta, like Xavi, who I think will just be there for his whole career, to be honest with you. He's 17, 18 now. I can see him there for another 15 years, and I don't think anyone's going to get close to Pedri. And I do think he is going to be a very, very, very good player in the future. Simicas was really promising again yesterday, says Phil Franklin. I mean, Stephen Owens agrees with you here. He says Simicas was outstanding yesterday, but the whole team looked great. And these are only good signs for Liverpool. We can't look into it too much because, like we said, Bologna, with all due respect to them, they're not the level that we're going to be playing week in, week out in the Premier League, no matter who we play. But you'd have to say that all things are looking good. All things are looking good, apart from the fact that we still need 2 big names to come in. Has Shaqiri now put himself even more in the transfer window with that assist last night, as that added a bit of money onto his 12.75 million asking fee price? Who knows? But all promising signs for Liverpool. You've got Virgil back, you've got Joe back. Touch wood, we've not had any injuries so far in this pre-season. So things are looking very good, guys. We're heading into this game against Norwich in full confidence. And if you saw Todd Cantwell's assist for Norwich in pre-season, I think it was 2 days ago, then trust me, we're going to be in for a tough game down at the Hawthorn, not the Hawthorns. Oh my good, Carrow Road. Carrow Road is in Norwich, isn't it? I was there with the Kop TV of the season we won the league. And we won that one 1-0. And I think Sadio Mane scored a goal in the 81st minute. Check me on that one. But listen, all promising. No signs of any danger, really. Let's hope we can get through Bilbao on Sunday and then Osasuna on Monday without any injuries, without any big headlines. We just want everyone to smoothly, course through the game with no issues. And then hopefully we can start the season next week in the best vein of form. But there's your video today, guys. Liverpool cruising past Bologna yesterday with a 3-0 aggregate score over 2 hours. A lot of different players playing that one. Really good to see the whole squad getting minutes on that hot pitch in Evian. And then also talking about Messi, I think, going to PSG. And now, if you did record the early kickoff on Sky Sports News, you can go back and watch myself on there this morning talking about Liverpool and Paris. But guys, a quick reminder for you to hit the bell when you're subscribing to the Kop TV, so you're never without content that we're dropping here. Next week, you will see James Redmond and I starting the Hot Topics podcast. And then we've also got Ruby joining the channel for all the away watch-alongs as well. How can PSG afford all these players? The same way that Man City can afford theirs, buddy. Or your money. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye to you. I will be back on Monday with some more videos for you then. Until then, back on Sunday. What am I on about? It's Friday today. We'll be back on Sunday with 10 to 15 fan cams from outside the ground after the Bilbao game. I really can't wait any longer for that. It's going to be an absolute belter. So make sure you're on this channel on Sunday at around 7 o'clock. We'll have all the videos for you then. But until then, guys, have a great weekend. All the best. Take care. And remember.
Whoa. Just before you go.
Don't forget, give us a like, drop us a comment and subscribe to the Kop TV.
The voice of football's most famous stand.